Hi everyone, so today's look is using a lot of beautiful pinks, some warm brown color, and just a really beautiful cranberry. I'm using the Wet n Wild Knock on Wood palette. The names are kind of gone because I just used it. But here you have a really lovely dupe of MAC's Corduroy, kind of looks to me. A really lovely dupe of MAC's Cranberry. And this almost looks like just a soft mocha-y toned blush. So you have some lovely colors in there. You can find a bronze and a cranberry in quite a few more high-end palettes. These are really pigmented. I had said in the beginning of the tutorial that I thought that these were going to have some major fallout, and they did not. So I really recommend the Knock on Wood palette if you're into warm tones. Also, I used the Wet n Wild Idolize shadow stick. It worked really well in bringing out the sort of purpley undertones in the cranberry. So I haven't gotten any creasing with this, but I also applied an eyeshadow base underneath. This is not very pigmented on its own, but it does make the eyeshadow pop a bit, which is just what we want from an eyeshadow base. And then lip gloss. And then I use this lovely Wet n Wild lipstick in 901B, which is just a perfect dupe of the MAC's Pink Plaid, which is just a very pretty matte pink classic Audrey Hepburn lip shade. And so that's exactly what I'm wearing, and I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I'm using high-end and drugstore, well, not too high-end, just a couple MAC items here and there, and one Urban Decay one. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching. Alright, so I've already prepped and primed my eyelids with Urban Decay Primary Potion in Eden, and down here a little bit as well. Now I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild Idolize Cream Eyeshadow Pencil, and this is in 133 Techno. It kind of reminds me of a dupe of NYX pencil in purple, just because of that same sort of purpley pinky duochrome. And we're just going to start placing this shadow stick on the lid. Start coloring my lid, going around the crease. First impressions is it doesn't have a lot of color payoff right off the bat, but that may not actually be a bad thing, just because you actually don't need that much cream shadow to get your eyeshadows to pop and stick as some people might think that you do. I'm going to take the e.l.f. contour brush, which is just like a very short version of the 222 or 224, and the Wet n Wild Trio, and this is in Knock on Wood. It's part of their more permanent staple line. I'm going to take this color that says Crease right here, and we're going to immediately shape up a crease. I wouldn't put on any foundation when working with any of the Wet n Wild shadows, because some of them have fallout. I think they're pretty good quality though, because the Too Faced ones have fallout too, and you pay a lot more for those. So I'm just going to work that. Just diffusing it, so I don't end up with like a really insanely harsh contour color. It's really letting me diffuse it well. So far so good. A nice brush. I'm going to take a little bit more of the crease color, and I'm just going to rock it right here in the outer area. Really get my contour going. Okay, and now I'm going to take my makeup remover pad or wipe, just cleanse up the outer corner so it looks nice and smooth. So now I'm going to take that, well, knock on wood palette again. I'm going to take this sort of cranberry type color, and we're going to lay it right on top of Idle Eyes in Techno. Now I'm going to take a little bit of MAC's Texture, which is just this bronze Velux pearl color. It's not quite matte, it's got some slight like embedded gold shimmer. And we're just going to take a little bit of texture and work it up towards the brow. But anything like from the Wet n Wild Vanity palette will do if you want to keep this completely drugstore. Actually, there's a really good dupe of Vanity as well in the Vanity palette. So now I'm going to take a little bit of MAC's Orb, which is just this soft, peachy nude color. And we're just going to blend that out onto the brow bone. Nothing too fancy. I just like to diffuse any harsh lines out made by contouring with just a concealer type color. You could also take like a skin powder. If you want a cruelty-free version of this, Urban Decay's ABC Gum, which is just a little too dark for me at the moment, so I'm using what I have of Orb at the moment. Now I'm going to take a little bit of MAC's Crystal Avalanche, which you may not be able to see. Mine has a hole, big old hole in it, which I've already found a inglot replacement for, number 453. But I think it's important to not be wasteful and use what you have. It's just not green to throw your makeup away. I'm just going to take a little bit of my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and we're just going to put that in the inner tear duct just because the eye is kind of dark. So just want to make it look a little bright since we're not really in the fall months right now. And I'm going to take a little bit more Crystal Avalanche, and we're just going to also brighten up the eye and set it. I also like to go around the little arch of my eye aside from the tear duct. Not so much using the white as an eraser, just sort of optimizing it and pulling it out and up, so kind of has like some sort of continuous flow, so it doesn't look like I just stuck a blob of white in my inner tear duct, because that's kind of not my favorite look to go for. I just like it to look like my eye's naturally illuminated. Now for underneath the eye, I'm going to take this color that says Crease again, and we're just going to take that onto an angled brush, and we're just going to line underneath there and sort of connect it up where I've drugged out that brown in the outer corner. Now I've already applied my Urban Decay Urban Defense Tinted Moisturizer, which if you can find your color, I do recommend. It's thick enough that you get like a decent amount of coverage in a short period of time without having to build. And it's also thin enough that it is definitely a sheer based tinted moisturizing type foundation. Now I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay Glide On Cheek Tint. This is in Indecent. It's just this really soft peach with gold shimmer. It's kind of a good dupe for NARS Enchanted, which was originally released with last year's holiday collection at NARS. I didn't buy it because it had glitter chunks, and it's actually not as cruelty-free as they kind of claim to be, because they're owned by Shiseido. So I'm just going to blend this out on my cheek. I'm kind of packing on quite a bit because it's just a really soft, pretty color. I'm going with a really warm honey glow on the cheeks since the eyes are so almost warm and autumnal, and I'm filming this in the summertime. Next I'm going to take e.l.f.'s Tea Rose, which is just this sort of muted, almost has a purple tint to it to me. So that'll sort of bring it back to the idea of the look. And the Wet n Wild Mega Stay in number 901B, which is Think Pink, which is just this really bright, pretty pink. It's a really good dupe of MAC's Pink Plaid lipstick, if you're into that shade. And normally these don't glide on so well, but on top of the matte, on the top of the e.l.f. pencil, it glides beautifully. So that's a really interesting, pretty flawed, less dupe of the MAC's Pink Plaid, which is sort of a Audrey Hepburn pink lips color. Really beautiful. And I'm going to take a pretty decent dupe of NARS Turkish Delight. And this is e.l.f.'s Bubblegum. A little goes a very long way with the e.l.f. Hyper Shine glosses, believe it or not. So I'm going to stop there for the gloss. And that is all for now. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks for watching.